Here is something uncomfortable to admit. There was a point in my life where I genuinely believed that if I just tried harder, I would save more money. If I just had more discipline, more willpower, more grit, I would wake up on the first of every month and think, this month is different. This month, I'm actually doing it. And then by the 15th, spent not because I was reckless, not because I didn't care, but because I was playing the wrong game. I was relying on the one tool that science has now proven is the worst possible tool for building wealth, my own self-control. For those new here, I'm Muzaffar Teja, qualified accountant, a former investment banker, and your guide to cutting through the noise of finance. On this channel, we don't just talk about money, we talk about owning your life. Think personal finance systems, self-development frameworks, wealth building mindsets, and investment strategies that actually work. If that's your vibe, hit subscribe and ring the bell. We drop game-changing content every week. Now, let me ask you something. When you get paid, what actually happens? Like in reality, not in the budget you made on Sunday night, in reality, on the actual Tuesday or Friday when the money hits the account. Because for most people, what happens is this. The money arrives, there is a brief moment of relief, and then life immediately starts taking bites out of it. The phone bill here, the food shop there, the friend's birthday you forgot about, and before you know it, 2.5 weeks in, you are looking at your balance thinking, where did all of that go? Sound familiar? This isn't a character flaw. This isn't you being bad with money. What you have been experiencing has a name, and it's been studied extensively by some of the most serious researchers in the world. Back in 1998, a social psychologist named Roy Baumeister at Case Western Reserve University ran a deceptively simple experiment. He brought participants into a lab and sat them in a room with two things on the table: a bowl of freshly baked chocolate cookies and a bowl of radishes. One group was told they could only eat radishes. The other could eat the cookies. Then after that, both groups were given a series of difficult, unsolvable puzzles to work on. What Baumeister found was extraordinary. The people who had to resist the cookies, who had to use willpower just to say no to biscuits, gave up on the puzzles nearly twice as fast as the people who didn't have to resist anything. Not because they were less intelligent, not because they were less motivated, but because their self-control had already been used up. It was depleted. Baumeister called this ego depletion, and it became one of the most replicated findings in modern psychology. The core idea is this: willpower is not an infinite reservoir that you can draw from endlessly. It's more like a phone battery. Use it for one thing and there is less available for the next thing. Now think about what happens to you on payday. You have already spent 8 hours making decisions at work. You have navigated traffic or a commute. You have managed relationships, emails, children responsibilities. By the time you sit down to decide what to do with your money, your willpower battery is not full. It's been running all day. And that's the exact moment you are supposed to have the discipline to transfer money to savings. That's the exact moment you are supposed to resist spending. No wonder it doesn't work. But here is nobody tells you. The people who consistently build wealth, and I mean actually build wealth, not just talk about it, they don't have more willpower than you. They have simply designed systems that don't require any. There is a piece of research that absolutely blew my mind when I first came across it. And I think it's going to change how you see this entirely. In 2004, two behavioral economists, Richard Thaler from University of Chicago and Shlomo Benatzir from UCLA, published what became one of the most influential studies in modern personal finance. They created a program, and the premise was simple. Instead of asking people to save more money now, which requires immediate willpower, immediate sacrifice, immediate pain, they asked people to commit in advance to saving a portion of their next pay rise. Not today's money, future money. Money they hadn't received yet. Money they wouldn't miss. What happened? In the very first company they tested this on, 78% of employees signed up. And the average savings rates across those participants went from 3.5% of their income to 13.6% over the course of just 3.5 years. Nearly 4 times higher. They didn't motivate people. They didn't run seminars about the importance of saving for retirement. They just removed the moment of decision. They automated the outcome. And this is the insight I want to build into a practical system you can set up. Most of it under an hour. That will do exactly the same thing for you. I call it a 3-tier wealth machine. And the entire philosophy behind it is this. Your job is to design the system once. After that, you get out of the way. Tier 1 is what I call the quiet foundation. This is your emergency fund. But the way most people try to build one is completely wrong. They wait until they have something left left over at the end of the month. That's not a system, that's a wish. What you are going to do instead is set up an automatic standing order. Not a manual transfer, an automatic standing order. From your current account to a separate saving pot scheduled to leave the morning after your payday. Not payday, the morning after. Because here is the psychology trick. Once the money is in your current account, your brain starts treating it as available. It feels like yours to spend. But if it's moved to a separate pot before you have even looked at the balance, it was never there. Research from the Money and Pension Services here in the UK found that over 11 million working age adults, that's more than the half of working age Britain, don't save regularly at all. And the number one reason isn't that they can't afford to, it's that the act of choosing to save in the moment of temptation consistently losing to the act of spending. Remove the choice and you remove the battle. Start with whatever number isn't painful. £20, £50. The amount is almost secondary. The habit is what you are building. Your emergency fund target is 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. And once you hit it, you redirect that same standing order to the next tier. Tier 2 is the future self-tax. I love this framing because it reframes what you are doing. You are not sacrificing, you are taxing your present self in order to pay your future self a salary. This is your investing tier. And whether that looks like a stocks and shares ISA with an index fund or increasing your pension contributions so they leave your payslip before you even see them. The mechanics are the same. It leaves automatically, it happens without you. There are now 15 million people in the UK banking with challenger banks like Monzo and Starling. And the technology available in these apps is genuinely remarkable for this exact purpose. Monzo, for example, lets you create named saving pots with automatic roundups. So every time you spend £3.40 on a coffee, the remaining 60p is swept into savings. Starling has something called Spaces, where you can set up recurring automatic transfers into dedicated pots directly tied to specific goals. These aren't gimmicks, they are behavioral architectures. They are moving the decision. For this tier, I want you to target a minimum of 10% of your take-home pay. Now, I know some of you are looking at your bank balance right now thinking that's not possible, and I hear you. But remember Thaler and Bernardzi's insight. Commit it to your next pay rise. If you get a rise in April, let 5% of that rise go straight into this tier. You will never notice what you never had. Tier 3 is the one people overlook entirely, and it's actually the one that makes the whole machine sustainable. I call it the guilt-free account. Because here's what happens when you automate savings without this tier. You feel permanently restricted. Everything in your main account feels like it could be savings you are spending. So you either overspend out of frustration or you become so anxious about money that you develop an unhealthy relationship with it. The guilt-free account is a separate pot labeled purely for planned pleasure. Holidays, birthdays, meals out, clothes, whatever matters to you. You set up a fixed automatic transfer into it every month, and that money, once it's in there, is 100% yours to enjoy without guilt. When you use it, you are not derailing your wealth building. You are spending from a designated budget that already has your savings backed in. This is the part of the system that makes the other two parts last. Now let's talk about the state of saving in the UK for a second, because the numbers are genuinely shocking. According to Finder's research published this year, 2 in 5 British adults have 1,000 or less in savings. Not a small cushion, not even a month's worth of average living expenses. 1 in 6 have absolutely nothing saved at all. That's nearly 9 million people. And yet the UK household savings ratio, the proportion of disposable income that households save in aggregate, has been rising, which tells you something important. The people who are saving more, and the people who aren't, they are falling further behind. The gap is widening, not because some people have more discipline, but because some people have better systems. The wealthy don't budget harder, they architecture better. They build machines that run while they sleep, while they are distracted, while their willpower is exhausted at the end of a long week. And the beautiful, almost offensive truth is that the same architecture, the same standing orders, the same pots, the same automated ISA transfers is available to you right now, today, through the phone in your pocket. So here is the challenge I want to leave you with. Not to set a new saving goal, not to promise yourself you will be more disciplined this month. I want you to open your banking app tonight, not tomorrow, tonight and set up one single automatic transfer. Even if it's £20, even if it's £10, name the pot future me. Schedule it for the morning after the next payday and then do absolutely nothing. Just let it run, because that one moment of setup, that 5 minutes of action will outperform 1,000 months of good intentions. The machine doesn't get tired. It doesn't get tempted. It doesn't have a bad day. You build it once and then it builds your wealth for you. That's not laziness, that's intelligence. If this landed for you, do me a favor. Drop a comment below and tell me which of the 3 tiers you are going to set up first. The Quiet Foundation, the Future Self-Tax, or the Guilt-Free account. I read every single comment and I want to know where you are starting. If you know someone who still think they just need more willpower to save, share this video with them. This might be the thing that actually changes how they see money. And if you're not subscribed, hit that button, because the next video is going to take this system even further. This is Mr. Financial Mindset. I'm Muzaffar Teja, reminding you, you weren't born to pay bills and die. You were born to build a machine that works for you, even when you are not working. I'll see you in the next one.